Welcome women to my Women's Circle Facilitator training. I wanted to do a video just to introduce what this training is all about and why I am devoted to hosting women's circles and empowering other women to begin hosting red tents and women's circles and moon lodges. So a women's circle is an ancient practice of women coming together to retreat, usually on the new moon time or at a time when they are menstruating or bleeding, to come together and share stories, to express their emotions, to receive wisdom from their elders, and to learn about what is needed in the community, what is needed for themselves. It's really a place of retreat, it's a place of rejuvenation, and it's a place for women to get to know themselves through seeing mirrors in other women of their vulnerability. I personally have evolved and learned and expanded exponentially through taking part in women's circles and hosting them. And this is why I'm running this training, because I believe that the healing and the awakening that happens when women come together is just profound. And it's such simple practice as well, because many of us as women feel sometimes lost in a patriarchal world where we're not supported, where we're experiencing a lot of PMS, womb issues, breast cancer. There's a lot of dis-ease in the female body. And what I've seen with regards to women who come to women's circles is a harmony, a returning to their natural cyclical nature, which is correlated to the moon. So if you've ever had issues with your period or irregularity in your cycle, the moon lodge also creates a rhythm, a place to return to, a deeper connection with your womb. And the womb is the portal. The womb is our place of creating, of birthing babies, businesses, ideas, our art. When a woman is truly connected deep to her womb and her body, she feels a sense of peace and groundedness. And the Moon Lodge is that safe and sacred place for us to remember what it means to be a woman and reclaim these rituals and simple ceremonies that have been hidden but are not dead and are really rising in this time. We cannot deny that we are living in a time where the feminine is so desperately needed. And we see it. We see these witches, these healers, these women kind of taking up space in the world, guiding people back into their hearts, back into their purpose, what they're really here for. So the beauty of this training, it will also give you the tools to possibly stand in your power as a leader, as a facilitator, and begin running circles yourself, as well as getting to know yourself deeply. It is my belief that intuition, that inner tuition, is gained through practice, through getting to know your shadows, through knowing yourself. It's built on our self-esteem. So in this training and in women's circles, we really get to know all our triggers, because we open up and we get to witness our sisters open up too and realize, actually, I've been holding so much in and holding so much on my chest, trying to be strong. But in this space, it's a sacred space where I can finally surrender. And the feminine wants to surrender. The feminine seeks that befriending and tending and nurturing. That's how we heal. That's how we restore integrity to our nervous systems. Every woman that comes to the Moon Lodge and the red tents and the circles and the retreats that I hold always leave with this deep relief and excitement for the freedom that comes and the joy that comes after we really drop into who we are and what we want. If you'd like to know more about the actual program, you can check out my sales page. But what we will do is cycle through 8 weeks together, where we will have intimate time online in a Zoom call of practicing actually holding circles, of breaking into groups and learning to find our voices, In the first week, we do listening, talking stick, ancient practices that I've learned from all around the world over the years from my wise elders that have generously passed this wisdom down to me and which I feel honored to pass to you. We will also do some training on herbal wisdom because I have a deep, deep yearning and call to return women's healing remedies to the earth, the connection to the plants, the connection to nature as an ally for us in this time, to remember that we can heal ourselves, that we can make the potions our bodies need and nurture our wombs gently by this wise woman way that I was initiated into by incredible herbalists from around the world. We will also talk about boundaries, and this is a really important part of facilitating that I spend a lot of important time on. The difference between saving somebody, which happens a lot in therapy or certain kind of coaching scenarios where there's this hierarchy of one better than the other. The circle, there is no hierarchy. We are not here to save people. We are not better than or more equipped to give advice. What we're doing is creating a container for women to actually become their own healers, to find the truth and the answers within themselves by quietening all the outside noise and all the outside advice and really listening. And that takes a skill of compassionate listening and strong energetic boundaries where you're not developing codependent relationships with your participants, but actually giving them a sense of true sovereignty and excitement to know that they have themselves, that they have the support of their sisterhood, but ultimately they can feel rooted and trusting of how to go about operating in this crazy world. Another week we will do shadow work and shame. So a lot of my training and a lot of my courses are in the realm of transmuting the shadow, of learning to integrate our shadow, getting to know the parts of ourselves, the subconscious parts that sabotage our growth, that keep us playing small. So many women come to me with so many creative ideas and incredible spiritual gifts and just desire to be out there in the world, but have this shame and fear of actually expressing themselves. Sometimes it's correlated to a witch wound, which is an ancient memory or past life feeling that I can't stand up as a woman, that I may be harmed, or my culture or family or friends won't accept me. And so through the training, we learn to transmute that fear and really begin to own all that we are and find that dignity and that confidence to speak our truth, to show up authentically as who we are. Yes, it's powerful stuff. I must say, this is a training, a experience, a journey that will transform your life. It will trigger you. You will face parts of yourself that you've maybe been shying away from for a long time. And this is where the practice of dying, of letting go, of surrendering comes in. Because it's only when we really let go and grieve and die and let these old parts transmute that we can actually call in our rebirth. We can actually call in our next up-levelment, our next desire, our next dream to really live a beautiful and joyous life, which we all deserve. And so if this is something that you are feeling called to, if you look at my work or other women's work and you feel a great desire that you too want to facilitate, that you too want to hold women's circles or share your gifts or just get to know your feminine nature, get to know other women and feel a deep sense of groundedness in your body and in the earth, then this training is for you. It is potent, it is powerful. I have had huge success with my last participants and it's a great honor to invite you. So I hope to hear from you and see you in the training, which begins in March.